Okay, welcome back, guys. So today, let's keep practicing speaking, shall we? Yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So, describe the type of clothes that you usually like to wear. Okay. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about the kind of clothes that I frequently wear, which is t-shirts, especially the casual ones. So, I often buy t-shirts on online channels such as like websites and social media such as Facebook and TikTok. And the main reason why I choose to buy t-shirts online because of the discount and the cheap is cheap. Is price cheap. Yeah, yeah, and like if you buy a piece of clothes of t-shirt offline on the store, it'll be about for like $10. But if you buy it online, it's just about half of it. So, but to be honest, I occasionally purchase it because to me, I only buy it when I feel like my demand, I need clothes to wear, and when it comes to criteria, there are three of them I often consider when choosing to buy a t-shirt. The first one is the textile of it. The second one is the price. Obviously, it must be cheap. And the third one is about the demand of me, in which I only buy when I feel like I need it. And the reason that I want to buy t-shirt is because it is comfortable to wear and comfortable and convenient to wear, and additionally it's easy to collaborate with other clothes, such other pieces of clothes such as like a jacket, a trouser. I mean, and any garments. Yeah, any garments. We can fit it with any garments. And in the future, I think that I will buy it for the New Year holiday, the coming New Year holiday. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about shopping for clothes. So does sorry about sorry about that. Does everyone like to go shopping for clothes? Um. To be honest, if I have to give an an overall answer for this question, it'll be yes. That is because, buying clothes is a good way for people to relieve stress, and this has been shown by many researchers. Yeah, many research, and in addition to that, buying clothes help people to find a piece of garment that they needed because because their wardrobe may not have that piece of clothes yet. Yeah. So to me, and as I mentioned before, I rarely buy clothes, but when every time I buy it, I usually that is because my demand, my need is is in high demand for clothes. Yeah. So let's just say that I plan to buy it on the New Year holiday, which is about yeah for the New Year holiday. And I think that after finish this speaking, I will go to some shop near this building to find some piece of clothes that serve my purpose, which is for new clothes for new clothes for New Year's. So why do you think some people don't like shopping for clothes? Hmm, interesting. I think that is because I think that is because crows are. I think that is because their financial resources. Because I think that is because of their financial resources, in which they want to save as much money as possible for other objectives in their life, such as the career or their relationship, which yeah. So my girlfriend would be a good illustration for this, and we often have a stereotype that girls will buy a bundle of clothes, a plethora of clothes to wear, but the same is not true for my girlfriend. She, I would say that the last time she bought a new piece of clothes, happened for like 3 months ago. Yeah, and the majority of her financial resources doesn't spend is not spent for clothes, but rather for her traveling, because she is addicted to traveling, and she had to sorry, she has to go travel to somewhere once every month, which is why that I believe that though I believe that financial resources are the main reason that some people do not are not interested in buying clothes. So, do you think there's a difference between male and females when buying clothes? Absolutely yes. I mean, when it comes to choosing clothes to buy and to purchase, uh, men have a tendency to buy a simpler, a simpler and more comfortable piece of clothes compared to women. That is because I mean, uh, many psychological facts have shown that men are the rational creatures in which rational and simple creature in which they just buy clothes to serve their purpose, their main purposes, which is to wear. They do not need to be too they no need to be too attractive when it comes to clothing, because to the majority of men, the thing that makes them become outstanding in the crowd is the is their job and their tangible assets such as real estate such as their real estate and their smartphones, their cars. But when it comes to women, women want to make always want to make themselves as lavish as possible, which is why clothes which is why in terms of buying clothes, women will choose the clothes as luxurious as possible. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, do you think it is important to follow current fashions in the clothes you wear? Um, to my point of view, trying to follow a fashion trend is unnecessary. That is because as unnecessary as as it will it could consume you a huge amount of money. Yeah, that is because when a trend, let's just say that when a fashion trend just release, people will have a strong tendency to buy it, and the price of those piece of garments will would be extremely high, and and uh, and in long term, when the value of the clothes decrease, and the fashion trend become cool down, yeah, the fashion trend cool down, the piece of clothes will not be able to attract anymore, to not be able to help the wearer become attractive, and and okay. So the the fashion trend I remember happened in 2015, in which sorry, in which Off-White just released its new piece of t-shirts, and a lot of young people choose to buy it. But only after 6 months after the trend, the kind of t-shirt is not on fashion anymore, and people started to throw it away, and as a result, many stocks still remained, and many stocks still remained, and the and how should I say, and it has a detrimental effects on environment. So why do many young people feel it's important to wear clothes that are in fashion? Hmm, interesting question. Well, I think the main reason is due to peer pressure. If you don't know what it is, peer pressure is the term that is used to indicate that people feeling stressed and pressured about their friends, their colleagues that is in the same age and same age or generation to them. So back to the main question. Uh, People try to wear clothes that trending because they feel like they have to be as good as cool as their friends, as their friends and people around it. And I think the main cause for this comes from social media, in which uh, people trying to follow their idols, their superstars, such as TikTokers and KOL or key opinion influencer. So those people they set up a trend, they establish a trend, a fashion trend, and many people follow the trend, and young people will have a thought in the mind that they have to follow the trend, and they have to follow the trend so that they won't be left behind. That is why people feel it is crucial to wear themselves a piece of clothes that is trendy. So do you think there are negative effects on young people resulting from this idea that wearing fashionable clothes? Yeah, so as I mentioned before, uh, trying to follow a fashion trend will create a could could make people become young people become could make the young become peer pressure. So as a result, peer pressure could make them to not to follow their current objective, but rather just to sorry, but rather just to to follow the trend, which will make their career success or the objectives such as academic achievement or career goals become procrastinated. And another negative impact of running for fashionable trend clothes is that it consumes a huge amount of finance. Yeah, in which this had been there's been many reports show that young people in Vietnam are willing to spend for, I mean, 20 to 30% of their monthly income just to buy clothes, and and because of it they will be unable to unable to afford all the expenses such as housing, food, or traveling. Yeah, and which is why I believe that there are two main negative effects. First of all, it consumes a huge amount of money. Second of all, it could make them you know harder to achieve career or academic achievements. Okay, so describe a popular person you know. Okay, so today I am going to talk about a, a well-known person that I know, which is my mom. So she is currently 43, 45 years old, and she currently working as a CEO in her own company, which is a, which is product is about selling trees in small pots. So and currently I work as her a CEO assistant. So her business started for like 10 years ago, and in the first time there is a little bit at the beginning of her business there is difficulties in finance, but she was able to manage it. She was able to manage it, and now she is managing 50 employees. So the reason that I that she become popular in because she sell a wonderful with high quality products, and which makes her become outstanding in the on the field of trees, on the tree industry. Yeah, and that is not the primary reason. Another thing is that she know how to do branding, in which she know how to advertise herself, and she often do it by by posting a lot of to social media, as well as she started a lot a lot of live streaming to talk with her customers, which makes her become popular in the trees industry. So, and to me, I think that I will have to learn more about her, and to be honest, I have a strong admiration from my mom. Yeah, and I believe that she will be more popular and more well known in the future. So so do you think that so let's talk about popularity. So what kinds of people are popular? Hmm. To me, it should this question depends on the era that we are living in. So if we live in the industrial age, uh, the main the way that makes you become popular is simply you are rich, and you made a lot of money, and you possess a lot of factories and workers and labors. But in this contemporary era, people had a tendency to admire someone and become popular. People have a tendency to people become tendency because of because of the of what they con- what they contribute to the society. Yeah. So for example, there is they let's just call this person is A. A is a high school student. Yeah, but her, an unknown high school student, but and he started to open a YouTube channel and share his knowledge about his school, his subjects such as math, English, and chemistry, and as a result, he became popular because of the way he share the knowledge is much easier compared to teachers in classes in at schools. Yeah, and which is why I believe that is that is the main factor that makes people popular. So can you explain why some students at school are more popular than others? Hmm. So in my opinion, there are two main causes for this. The first one is those students they contribute something to the whole school in general. Uh, that could be the fact that the students participate in a huge number of charity activities, and the second factor is that they might be you know they might be outstanding. they may have something outstanding compared to other students, such as beauty and finance. And the former it is understandable, but the latter it could be about their, it could be about their intelligence. It could be about their finance, in which they are rich kids. I would say that they are rich kids, and they possess a lot of, expensive and luxurious assets such as smartphone, clothes, and maybe, their glasses, for instance, glasses. So do you think a popular teacher is always a good teacher? Hmm. Let's see. So, um, to my point of view, I would say that, um, a popular teacher doesn't mean the teacher is a wonderful, good teacher, because to me, I it's someone is a good teacher must have three qualities. The first one is they must have a good they must have a certain level of professions, which is tangible and can be seen by their certificates and something like that. So the second factor is about the ability to share knowledge to the student, or in the other words, their capability of communicating with the students in terms of knowledge. Yeah, if it is point is if you know a lot of things but you cannot share it to students, right? And the last one is about their virtue and their morality, in which in which they have to share a bundle of knowledge to students, and you have to share knowledge to their students within your heart. That is what you really want, not because it is because of their job, or you want to make money for that. So, for example, there are a lot of teachers I have known. Uh, they are popular on social media, but when students buying their course, taking their course, they started to realize that the teacher, doesn't give give a lot of pay attention a lot to them. Yeah, and they felt disappointed after, spending money for the course. So do you think it's easier to be popular if you're wealthy than if you're poor? mm, well, I hate to admit this, but it is true that if you are rich, you will be more well known than if you are poor. That is because when you are rich, you have more opportunities to approach to new social media platforms such as Facebook and TikTok, and you can even use your money to utilize the source those channels to boost your fame. So I have seen a lot of people in my life, and they are they become, you know well known, not because of their talents or their beauty, but rather by their ability to use money to show off their money. and and it is a little bit funny that there are numerous people who find that who find those who are rich are the pattern for them to strive in their life, and for me, I would say that it's unnecessary. Yeah. So can you explain why some people are popular or famous for many years while others are popular or famous for a short time? So I think that it is up to uh, the main distinction between those who are famous for long times and those who are short time is what they is, you know because of is based on what they contribute to the society. And this is because, those who have the those who give a lot of, values to society will always be respected and be memorized. Meanwhile, those who just, become famous in a short period of time, they just, I would say that they bring nothing to society. They often, they often try to reason by saying that I make the society laugh. That is the value I try to give them. But to me, that is unnecessary. That is not what you that is not the value you give to the society. I mean, giving laugh to even I mean even there are a lot of artists in Vietnam who is working on comedy. They also have to do something to prove that they are worthy to give that comedy that's hilarious value to the society. But those kind of people who are famous in a short period of time just, give them a laugh and then they try to, replicate that laugh for many times. And which is why that is the main differences. Those who are famous in a long time, they give values such as about education, about business, and about life lessons for other people. Why those who are popular in a short period of time give no value to the social. Okay, okay. So describe a traditional celebration in your country that you are enjoying. So okay, so let's see. Okay, so today I am going to talk about a conventional celebration in Vietnam that I have enjoyed, which is cannon carrying festivals, and the location of it is in Bắc Ninh province, which is about 30 kilometers from Hanoi. So the meaning of the festival is that people celebrate the after the against the revolution against the invaders from China, and this festival have occur once every year on New, Lunar New Year festival. And in this festival, a man aged 40 to 45 will carry the cannon two gigantic cannons. And meanwhile, Women will dance, and to be honest, this festival is my hometown's festival, I believe that it is my hometown's culture as well. Uh, this is because the festival is a wonderful way for us to show our identity to all the festivals in Vietnam, and which play a crucial role in helping us to be outstanding compared to other festivals in Vietnam. And in 2021, during the peak of during the peak of the COVID-19, our festival had to stop. But and in that year, I would say that there was a dull moment for the Tet for the Lunar New Year festival for the Lunar New Year, because it is I would say that the New Year the cannon carrying festival is something that helps us to stand out, and and we feel a dull moment in which we wasn't allowed to our hometowns is wasn't allowed to organize the festival. But then on 2023, we were allowed to on the beginning of 2023 we were allowed to organize it again, and it was, I would say that it was a spectacular moment in my life. So, mhm. So, is it important for children to learn about traditional festivals at school? To my point of view, I would say yes. That is because learning about conventional festivals at school is the best way for children to appreciate their cultural values. And in other words, it is, in my opinion, I would say that learning these will not just help them to appreciate the cultural values, but also to help them to broaden their horizons about the culture. Because according to married research, there are a huge number of people who are in short of knowledge related to culture. So yeah. hmm So why do people hold events to celebrate? hmm Interesting question. I think that is because they want to utilize their financial resources for something useful, and an event is the best way for them to spend for. And the main reason why they choose events but not other forms to celebrate, to spend, is events because those events are the good way for them to advertise themselves. So I have met a lot of people who become a sponsor for an event such as like a football league or a festival, and they even spend for like a huge amount of resources just to sponsor for the just to give sponsorship give sponsorship to the events, because they want to become more well known in the eyes of the public. Okay, so do you think children like to learn about traditional festivals? Uh, to be honest, I would say yes. In fact, every children have a strong interest for festivals. That is because, according to research, children have a tendency to prefer something that is colorful, and festival, especially the traditional ones, uh, could help them to satisfy the demand. And and another reason is that traditional events often have a lot of games for them, have a lot of games for those types of people to enjoy, and that is why they have a strong interest for traditional festivals. And for example, my hometown's festival is Carrying Cannon Festival. Have has a lot of game on the days we organize. So, and there are a lot of children. I would say there are a lot of children go to the festival just to enjoy the game. Yeah, which is why I believe that children love to see traditional festivals. So are traditional festivals disappearing? Let me see. In my opinion, I would say that traditional festival, yes, they are becoming extinct. That is because our the tendency of young people in these days, uh, are for Western values. They're trying to follow the Western values that they started to forget that they start to forget their own identity, which is traditional festivals. In fact, in my girlfriend's hometown, the traditional festivals is only favored by the old, but not the young anymore. That is because the young, they try on this because the young on this day on the days of traditional festivals, they they are not keen on to go they are not keen on going there, but rather they would like to go to, to the cinema, go to the cinema or go travel. And which is why that, yeah, I believe I indeed believe that traditional festivals are getting disappearing. So do you think food and music are important for celebrations? Absolutely yes. I mean, and it is a must to every party or every celebrations. That's because, uh, during celebrations we will have a lot of activities such as dancing, singing, even playing games, and those activities will consume would consume a huge amount of energy for people, which is why that food, which is why food will be a good way to help us to to recharge the energy. And when it comes to music, I would say it is vital because music makes the party or the celebrations become more zealous. I would say more zealous and more lively. Yeah, and to be honest, I used to attend a wedding without music, and it was such a disappointing weddings that I have ever attended in my life. So, do you think that traditional festival is different compared to the past? Um, to be honest, yes. That is because, to be honest, yes, because nowadays, uh, w- people have a people have a predisposition to hold traditional festivals with at cheap cost as possible, because as far as you know, we are suffering from economic crisis, and people are trying to, to save as much finance as possible to organize any festivals. And and another factor that makes traditional festival nowadays become less dissimilar compared to the past is that uh, people have to follow a lot of regulation from the governments, in which in which they have to guarantee the safety as have to guarantee the safety as well as the safety as well as the safety as well as safety regulation of the governments. So, for example, my hometown's festival about cannon carrying festival. In the past, we were allowed to fire to fire firework, yeah, to play with firework during the festival. But in the current time, we are not permitted to do that anymore. That is because it could be dangerous to people, especially children and the old.